Okay, so for this one, I'm gonna tier list, essentially go through every Premier League club. I'm gonna go how that club has done so far this season. So like, let's take for example Bournemouth. The first one I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put them as C because they've been pretty decent. I won't say they've done like they've massively shocked the league. I think they've done pretty well. I'd argue B as well. I'll put them in C now, but they're definitely touching on the B line. I think they've done pretty well, and they seem to guarantee pretty much safety from relegation, and that's a big achievement for Bournemouth. It's fair play. Arsenal, I'm going to go with A. If anyone puts Arsenal below that, I think they're silly. I think the people that think, what do you call it? I think I can't talk right now. A lot of people seem to think that Arsenal have dropped off from last season and they're not as good. I think they're better than last season. I lied about doing the Champions League thing every week, but it's not available every week. I don't know how I forgot I said that. But yeah, I think Arsenal do pretty well. I think they'll definitely give the Premier League some good entertainment right till the end, and I do think they're a better team than what they were last year. Can't lie. Let's go with Aston Villa, A star. If you don't put Aston Villa A star, there's something seriously wrong with you. The fact that Aston Villa are touching Champions League spot is insane. Unai Emery has done absolute magic with that squad. I will hear nothing else on that matter. What else have we got? Brentford. I'm actually going to put Brentford in D because I think no matter what, they'll do well to survive relegation. I think they will. But they've had some really stinking results. Like, I can't even remember the last time they actually won. Imagine they do have injuries and that, so, fair enough. But I don't think they've been as good as they were last year, so I do have to put them as D. Brighton, I feel like they are as good as they were last year, maybe a little bit worse. But I think the hype from them is gone, so they don't seem as good. But I think Brighton are still a pretty decent team. Do I think they'll finish top 8? I don't know. That one I struggle with. I have no idea on that one. But I suppose we'll see. Burnley, we can just make this very easy and just put them there and never talk about that one again. Burnley doing crap to spend 100 million and be in the position we're in. 100 million pounds, and we only have like 13 points in February is ridiculous. I think long term wise we'll do very good, but right now I don't even want to talk about Burnley. It's a good thing it's just me here and there's no one to oppose your opinions. Yeah, that's a very good point. If someone was in here and was this video that I'm trying to do would last like 40 minutes, 50 minutes, because I know a lot of people would disagree with me. But I'm glad you're not really into football, so you can't really oppose my opinions. Chelsea. Now Chelsea, I think people are going to think I'm batshit crazy for this one, right? But I am going to put them at B, and I'll tell you why I put them at B. I think they're in a better position than what they were last year. They seemed a complete mess last year. And when I watch Chelsea, compare Chelsea to the start of the season to now, they have improved a lot. And you can see that structure, you can see that team forming, you can see where this team is developing. They've got some fantastic players in there. Gusto's my favourite out of the lot. I really like the look of Gusto. And I think they're just getting better every week. And we're no longer seeing silly results against Chelsea. I can't remember the last time we did see a silly result from Chelsea. It must be about a month or two ago. And the fact that they're in the Carabao Cup final as well shows that there's some sort of consistency coming in terms of performance. I think Poch is doing the right job. And I think they are developing well. It just needs more time. But yeah, they're B for me. Burnley are doing absolute dagger. I know that, and I don't even like. Yeah, Burnley. Honestly, I can't even be more angry at Burnley because it's not even a case of when you've spent 100 million on buying players, 100 million pound, and for us to have 13 points, it's ridiculous. Now I can't even put it into words. Palace. Let's go with. I'm gonna go with E. Even though they just battered us 3-0. Roy Hodgson, his time. I think he needs to retire now. Well, he has retired now, or he should retire now. His time in the game is needs to be over. I don't think he's fit to manage anymore. With the unbelievable players that they have at Crystal Palace, and they do have quite like a few numbered players who are really fucking good. For them to be in the position they are, where they are still a bit mediocre, I don't know. I don't think it's pretty good. I think this new manager will do really well with him. But we'll see. We'll see. He's got very good players to work with. Everton, I'm gonna put B. With the 10 points deducted, their transfer budgets, I think they've done pretty well. And I think if you add the 10 points onto their record now, they'd be guaranteed safety. So I think Dash has done wonders. I'm not surprised Dash has done wonders. And I think, respectfully, they are B. I get updates of the match goals and when they play on my phone, so I know for work, and I've never been so disappointed. Oh, honestly, like, in the first 5 minutes, I'm expecting us to concede a goal every time. Watching Burnley play is, like, it's the worst. It's so bad. Like, I can't cope with it anymore. Liverpool, we're going to go with A. No matter how shit they play or how bad they play, they always get results, other than Arsenal. When they played Arsenal. But other than that, they could play really bad and still end up winning like 3-0. Like, they just played... Who did they just play? I can't remember. Luton. They just played Luton. First half, concede a goal. Second half, score 4. You know? So, I think their comeback, the way they come back from goals is really good. And because of that, I think they've done superb. And compared to last season, God, they were a bit dire last season. I've predicted Liverpool to win the league. I would be surprised if Liverpool do not win the league. But time will tell. Time will tell. Luton, A-star. Luton has to be A-star, and I'll tell you why Luton is A-star. I think Rob Edwards has done a fantastic job. Everyone had wrote him off. Everyone had said that they'd be crap, and that they wouldn't even touch 19th place, let alone 18th or 17th place. They actually like this. Luton looked like they actually could survive relegation, and with the money they spent and the structure they have, that is absolutely insane. I think Rob Edwards has done a good job. I think the recruitment in the summer was very good. I think the players he's got, I don't think there's one or two that have performed awfully for them, is probably the best way of wording it. So for that, yeah, Luton at A+. I did say to a lot of people that Luton at home, you know, it's people like clubs will struggle there, and no one believed me. No one believed me when I said like clubs would struggle against Luton, and they'll shock a few people. And here we are now. Clubs are struggling to play at Luton, so fair play to him. I can't fault him. Let's not talk about Arsenal. Us playing Arsenal, Burnley versus Arsenal. Oh my God, Jesus, that 5-goal loss. It was watching it. It's so bad. It's so bad. We've only won 3 games out of like 22 this season. We've lost 17 games. It's insane. It is actually insane. Man City, I'm putting B to go on win the treble, and for them to drop the points like they have is a bit disappointing. Their sort of biggest signing this summer was Doku, I would say, and it's a bit of a mediocre signing. And they let a couple of players go, and I think their treatment of Calvin Phillips is not the best. I think I standing on the fact that Man City will not win the title. I really don't think they will. I think it's between Arsenal and Liverpool who will win it, but time will tell. Man United, I'm going to put... Oh, Man United, where am I going to put you? I'm going to put A. They're doing really well at the minute. I think Ineos taking over as like a controlling stake is already proving to be good for them, because they've won like 5 on the bounce, which is mental. Højlund, however you pronounce him, he's doing phenomenal. Yeah, that's where I'm going to put Man United A. C. I'm going to put Newcastle at C. I think some people are very harsh on Eddie Howe. I think Eddie Howe getting Newcastle to Champions League last season, no matter how much money he had, no matter who he brought in, that is fucking mental. Season before, it was a team looking likely to relegate. So then the next season, to get Champions League. So I think, anyhow, I think people who are mocking him, I think that he's going to be sacked. I think you need to chill out because he's done very good. However, I haven't seen Newcastle have a convincing win for a good while now. And they are harmed by injuries, but I think they really have stepped down from last season. And I don't even think... I think they'll get Conference League at max. I don't think they touch Europa League. And I definitely don't think they'll get Champions League because they've dropped too many points now. Forest, I'm going to put D. Steve Cooper got fired, and rightfully so. Some of his results were terrible. But I will say Nuno's looking pretty good for him, and Nuno's looking like the right man. But I've got to judge not Forest on their season, and yeah, they've had a pretty poor season under Cooper, but it's looking good for Nuno, and that's why I'm putting them D. 17 losses, Jesus Christ, I didn't realise it was that bad. Oh my Lord, that actually makes me feel sick. Yeah, it's really bad now. Like, we have had 17 losses. Like, we're in a... I think we're one of the worst teams to ever grace the Premier League thus far. It is, honestly, we are terrible. Sheffield United, F. Speaking of Burnley that we talked about with 17 losses and doing terrible, Sheffield United lost to Burnley 5-0. And I think that tells you everything you need to know about Sheffield United. Spurs, let's go with A. You have to put Spurs at A. I think Andrew's done phenomenal. I really like seeing Son in that striker role. They were a bit let down with the amount of people who had to leave for AFCON and Asian Cup. But I think, like, if we talk about the summer and after Conte, Harry Kane leaving, it was looking the worst for Tottenham, and Andrew's really changed that squad and that team and that club from the inside and from the outside. The perspective of the club looks a lot better, and the reputation of the club seems to be still intact. And to do that in such a short period of time, you've got to respect Andrew for that. West Ham, we're playing E. David Moyes is having a stinker. It seems like they play anti-football under Moyes. That being said, they are still like around Europa League area, if I stand corrected. And that's pretty impressive. And I think it wasn't that long ago where West Ham were also looking likely to get relegated. So I think West Ham fans' consensus is that they'll always respect and they'll always love David Moyes, but they want to go to that next step, and they believe David Moyes isn't the man to do that. It's hard to say. I will say his results recently are really bad, and there's not really much of an excuse for it. And for that, I've got to put him at E. Although they are around Europa League spot. Actually, no, let's put him C. Let's put him D. Because their results have been quite bad as of recently. Wolves, I'm going to put A. Wolves has shocked me, to be honest, because Wolves seem like one that was definitely going to be fighting relegation, because I believe their owners came out and was like, due to COVID, we can't really spend in the summer. Well, Gary Neal has done wonders, and they've got some mad results from big teams like Man City. They've got results from Spurs. They've got results from Man United. They should have got a result from, and it looks like they're not even going to be in a relegation battle. And it was a team looking likely to be in a relegation battle. So I gotta respect that.